And I thought you decided at dinner that you finally didn't want to sell the house?
I did at dinner. But that was before Mildred spilled the spaghetti sauce all over the tablecloth.
What has spaghetti to do with our buying a bigger house?
Well, if we had a bigger house, we'd have a laundry. Not to mention a bathroom with a real bathtub.
What do you call that porcelain thing we have in there?
Mac, I can't even stretch out in that. My knees stick up out of the water.
Bathing in the sink again, huh?
I'm serious. Where are you going?
I'm hungry.
You wouldn't be hungry if you'd eaten your spaghetti.
How could I with it all over the tablecloth? Where's my bathrobe?
In the laundry with your pajamas, which is why we need a laundry room.
Look, am I keeping you from selling the house? It was your decision, not mine. But every time some red-hot prospect comes through here, you put them to the third degree, and then you decide not to sell because they have squinty eyes or they beat their cat.
What if Mildred sees you like that?
I'll hide behind a roast beef sandwich.
Oh, she finished all the roast beef.
And the very next buyer we're selling. I don't care if he has 3 heads. I'm sick and tired of people tramping through this house. Officer, go after that car. That man broke into my house.
Out on a panty raid, are we?
That man broke into my house.
All right, next to the car. Come on,
you know,
right up here.
Commissioner Mcmillan.
There, listen to this. This joker says he's the police commissioner. Take it easy.
He is.
Well, did you 2 guys at least check the alleyway in back of the house?
Oh, yes, sir, right away, right after we recognized the commissioner here.
Mac, it's gone.
What's gone?
The silver bowl, the one with your family crest on it.
That's what I got hit with.
Well, how much was it worth, Mrs. McMillan?
How can you put a price on history, Sergeant? That bowl's been in Mac's family over 100 years.
Yeah, and that's where we kept our trading stamps.
Trading stamps? Anything else?
Not that I can find.
Why would a guy break into a house to steal one lousy silver bowl?
Well, maybe it was somebody who needed a toaster fast and didn't have enough books.
You don't steal silver bowls with these, Commissioner?
A stethoscope.
Oh, paying a house call.
Mildred. Charlie put the word out to all fences and pawnbrokers. That bowl shows up, I want it back, and the guy who's unloading it.
Yes, sir.
Come on, I'm going to have a bologna sandwich, and then we're going to bed.
Oh, Mac, I used the last of the bologna on sandwiches for the officers.
What? Good night.
Good night. Good night. Come on.
Certainly won't miss it there.
I hope you got him something nice.
Oh, I did.
Great.
Morning.
Morning.
Late. What a night, huh?
Happy birthday to you.
You remember.
Yes.
Thank you.
You didn't think I'd forget, did you?
What's this?
3 guesses.
Open it.
You know what they say. Good things come in long, skinny packages. A tie.
Yeah, and see, it has tiny little golfers on it.
Golfers?
Oh, yes. Tiny little golfers. Look at that.
Do you really like it, Mac?
I love it. I think it's wonderful.
Well, I know it's not much, but remember, you made me promise not to spend a lot this year.
No, I think it's perfect.
Well, if you don't like it, we can always take it back and exchange it.
No. I like this one.
There was a terrific one with little basketball players.
No. I like this one.
Aren't you going to wear it?
Yes, I'm going to wear it.
Great.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Morning.
Hi, Sergeant.
Be right with you. Well, I gotta go. I'll see you later.
Okay. Mac, listen, we're going to do something really fantastic this weekend to celebrate your birthday. But Jenny Lassiter and her husband had a terrible fight this morning, and she called me. He left her. She's all upset, and she asked me, would I please come over tonight, have a cup of coffee, sit around and talk with her? And I said, okay. Is that all right?
Sure. Go ahead.
Mildred's going to leave some meatloaf in the fridge for you.
Meatloaf.
I hate to rush you, sir, but we're on a pretty hectic schedule. By the way, I've already put word out on the street about your silver bowl.
Good.
Hey, is that a new tie, sir?
Uh-huh.
Very nice. What are those tiny little things?
Golfers.
Oh. Very sporty.
Yeah. Well, I'll be home early.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
And Mac,
Happy
birthday.
Thank you.
Is it your birthday?
All day.
Well, you gotta let me buy you lunch.
2 martinis.
Oh, I thought they'd never leave. Mildred Jones blew it with that tie. Mac hates golf.
Well, I tried to get one with tiny little criminals on it, but they were all out.
You think he suspects Mildred?
No, not a chance. That touch about the Lassiters was a stroke of genius.
No, he really did walk out on it. I think that's the caterer. Start blowing. Hi, Demetrius.
We waited until he left, Mrs. Mcmillan.
Oh, good thinking.
This is Katina, my assistant.
How do you do?
So, if you will show us to the kitchen.
Yes, well, Mildred, could you show them to the kitchen? Because I've got to get dressed.
Yeah, right. The kitchen is right this way.
Oh, any kitchen would be graced by such a charming presence as yours, my dear woman.
Oh, really? What'd you say your name was?
Demetrios Anapopoulos.
Ah, a Greek.
Since the day I was born.
I was engaged to a Greek man once.
Oh, is that so? And what happened?
He left me for a taller person.
He was not then Greek. A true Greek understands that the nature of a woman is determined by what she has here.
Yeah, well, I'm not too strong in that department either.
Ah, you are far too modest, my dear woman. You possess an infinity of charms.
You're pretty good in the charm department yourself, Mr.
Demetrios.
Demetrius. You can call me Mildred.
We will undoubtedly be working in close harmony together. First names are so much nicer.
I didn't catch your name, honey.
Katina. I am also a Greek.
Beware of Greeks bearing gifts.
Well, I have to get back to the balloons, so if you need anything, just holler.
So remember, keep your eyes and ears open. This must not fail.
Just a second. Wait your turn.
There isn't anybody here but me.
What do you want?
So I want to hunt this thing. What do you think?
What do you think? How much do you want?
It's a very valuable piece.
Uh-huh. Well, look, let me place a call to one of my experts in the field. That way I can give you a fair price for it.
What do you mean? No. Yeah, well, hurry it up.
Commissioner? We just got a call from the Ames pawn shop. There's a fellow down there trying to hawk a silver bowl that fits the description of the one taken from your place.
Good. Let's have him picked up.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's got to be here someplace.
Maybe we ought to forget it. I'll go someplace else.
No, don't do that. It's got to be here.
Look, all I want is $50 for this thing. I mean, what's all the hassle about?
Now, look, Mr. Mr. This could be a very valuable piece, and I'd hate to not give you what it's worth.
I'll go someplace else.
Let's go, Ernie.
Oh, no. You think?
Hey!
Right. I hope your business falls off.
Commissioner, does this look familiar?
Yeah, that's it. Ernie, I'm really disappointed in you.
Oh, look, Commissioner, how was I to know that bowl belonged to you? I mean, it's like being a kid in a candy store. You know, you see this luscious all-day sucker and, you know, I grabbed the bowl, stuck it under my arm, sheer habit. If I'd have known it was yours, hands off, you know?
I'm glad to hear that, Ernie. And I suppose it was accident that you hit me over the head with it.
Now, you know I've always been a man with honor.
Yeah. All right, Ernie, let's have it straight.
Well, this idiot calls me up, and, well, he wants to know what kind of hollow spaces you have in your walls. And he's willing to give me $2 grand for it.
Hollow spaces?
Huh, hollow spaces. I don't know from hollow spaces either. I'm just a second-story man.
But you took the job.
Well, for $2 grand with this kind of inflation, better believe it. Anyway, I was knocking around downstairs, you know, and that was my first mistake. I wasn't finding nothing at all when you busted in on me.
Who hired you?
I don't know. Like I told the sergeant, all I have is a P.O. box in Sausalito. See, I was supposed to send him a sketch, and he's going to send me the money.
And that's all?
I've always been straight with you, Commissioner.
Oh, yeah.
Well, naturally, with the exclusion of last night.
All right, Ernie. I'm going to make a deal with you. You find out who hired you, and I'll see what I can do. Otherwise, the good sergeant here will unceremoniously throw you in the slammer. And with your priors, I'll personally see it's for keeps.
How can I give you a name when all I have is a zip code?
Find a way.
But there ain't no way.
Then you're in deep, deep trouble.
Deep trouble I can handle. It's the misdemeanors that'll kill you. I'll try.
Thanks, Ernie. Put a stake on that field box.
Yes, sir.
Hollow walls and hollowed halls.
What's that, sir?
Oh, yeah. It's an old Scottish limerick.
Look, you should have told me I was busted in the police commissioner's house. I know, but $2 grand ain't enough to pay for the kind of trauma I just went through. And now I gotta come up with a name. Or else I'll be making license plates for the next couple of years. Look, you and I, we better meet. At my place, 11 o'clock tonight. Listen, you yo-yo, you show up tonight or else! I lost my dime. Should be a law against that.
Yes, Mrs. Richards, I know how that is. I'm sorry, I just can't show the house today. I'm giving a party for my husband tonight. No, actually, it's Mac. He can't decide whether he wants to sell it or not. I guess it's some sort of sentimental attachment. All right. Okay, bye-bye.
Hello, Mrs. Mcmillan.
Mr. Harrington, hi.
Listen, I hope I haven't caught you at a bad time, as it were.
As it is, I'm giving a party for my husband tonight.
Oh, terrific. Listen, I got a client outside in the car. Is it okay if I show her the house?
Now?
Yeah. She saw pictures of the inside. She loves it.
I'm sorry, I just wouldn't be able to let you show it now.
Look, this is a very special client, Mrs. Mcmillan. Luciana Amaldi.
Luciana Amaldi?
Yeah, Luciana Amaldi.
Luciana Amaldi?
Right.
Who's that?
You gotta be kidding. The famous Italian movie star.
Oh, I guess I just didn't see any of her pictures.
I seen them all. She's a big talent. But better than anything, she's ready to make an offer.
That Luciana Amaldi.
Right. And even better, she's not quibbling about the asking price.
Are you sure that it's our house that she wants to buy?
Absolutely.
All right, go get her. Bring her up, see what we can do. Golly. Mildred, Mr. Harrington's bringing up a big movie star to see the house.
Oh, of course. Well, that explains it. That's why you're throwing up papers all around.
Uh-huh.
What movie star?
Luciana Amaldi.
Who?
She's big, very big in Italy.
Yeah, so why does she want this house?
Mildred, she's in love with it. Mildred, I want you to be very frank. Don't conceal anything. Tell her how you hate the kitchen.
Hey, the kitchen's okay. What's the matter with
Well,
it?
tell her about the teeny little cupboards, the dinky little windows that you can't see out of, 37 steps down to empty the garbage, which sometimes they don't even collect.
So?
Mildred!
I thought you wanted to sell the
Mildred,
house.
I do want to sell the house. Why do you think I have it on the market? I've had it on the market for 14 weeks.
Mcmillan?
Hi.
Luciana Amaldi.
Oh, hi.
Mrs. Mcmillan.
Oh, I hope you'll excuse our dishabille.
Nothing could detract from the ambiance of this charming little villa.
How true.
This is Mildred.
Hello.
This is Derek Simon. He's directing my new film here in San Francisco.
Hi.
Mr. Harrington says that you're reluctant, perhaps, to sell?
Well, it's not really me. It's my husband. He's sort of set in his ways.
One becomes attached to things, I suppose. Lovely. Preciosa. Mrs. Mcmillan, you decorated this all by yourself.
Yes, I did.
Charming, charming.
You know, my husband and I have lived here almost since the day we were married.
Derek and I hope to be married, too.
Oh, be sort of like a honeymoon house.
I hope so. If Derek is not too obstinate. A bathroom. How fantastically convenient. Only Americans would think of having a bathroom right off the living room. Isn't that marvelous, Derek?
Well, Miss Amaldi, I guess you'd probably like to see the kitchen. It's this way.
Yes, I'll show you the dinky cupboards and teasy windows. You'll love them.
In Naples, you know, we have very small windows. I'm crazy, I guess, but I adore them. Like small picture frames. A canvas.
Smaller than life.
I smell something.
Dinner. That's the trouble. Whenever you cook in this house, it smells for hours.
But that's wonderful. A house should smell. It gives warmth, personality. It's lovely. I love it, my love. Say yes.
Well, you haven't even seen the upstairs.
Oh, I've seen enough. It's perfect.
Sure, she loved it from the pictures I showed her. Look, we've got the deposit check already. Not that we're trying to rush you.
Well, I'd have to talk with my husband first.
Why don't you call him right now?
Oh, that wouldn't be possible because he's very busy. He has a lot of meetings today.
Then why don't we take you both to dinner someplace this evening?
Terrific.
No, we're having a party for him tonight. It's his birthday.
Oh! Well, maybe for a moment we could drop in and convince him. I'm very good at convincing.
I'm sorry, but that wouldn't be possible. Maybe tomorrow.
Of course, tomorrow. I'm being impatient as usual. Shall I call in the morning?
That would be lovely, Miss Amaldi.
Luciana. Ciao.
Ciao.
Yeah, well, listen, maybe this will give you some inspiration.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Here, ciao.
Mr. Harrington.
You really handled that one great.
Ah, Luciana Amaldi, what a fantastic film star. Huh? She made a picture in my country once.
Really? In Greece?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you sell her the house.
I don't know. She just loves it. She's not even arguing about the money.
Then you will sell, no?
Commissioner. You ready to push off?
I guess so.
Why are you feeling so blue?
Oh, I don't know. Just a little down.
Hey, it's your birthday.
I know.
No, I mean, that's why you're feeling blue. You see, birthdays, sir, have a great emotional impact. I mean, we tell everyone not to make a great big thing out of it, and then when they don't, it's very depressing.
It's very perceptive.
Thank you, sir.
When's your birthday?
December. I'm a Sagittarius.
What day?
Well, if I tell you, sir, you write it down and make a big thing out of it.
You see, you do it, too.
Oh. Yeah, well, I guess everybody does.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. When you get to be my age, it's nothing to make a fuss over.
By the way, what age is that, sir?
The age of enlightenment. Oh. Take me home.
Yes, sir. How about stopping for a couple of beers on the way?
No, Sally might be waiting. Want to come up for a beer?
Why, I thought you'd never ask. Looks like Mrs. Mcmillan isn't home yet.
No, I guess not.
I wonder if maybe she'd have a little of that extra meatloaf for that sandwich.
Oh, probably. You like meatloaf?
I adore her to make it about 3 or 4 times a week.
Have you ever had Mildred's meatloaf?
No, sir, I can't.
She's a
Say I have.
fair cook, you know, but you can't make meatloaf.
Oh, no.
Want some eggs? You cook the eggs. You're very good at cooking
Well, it was
eggs.
disastrous the last time.
No, remember I came to your apartment one time? Lights are not.
It was nice of you to-
I certainly am
Were you
surprised.
surprised?
Absolutely.
You didn't guess.
Absolutely
Not even suspect.
Absolutely.
Didn't even
Yes.
suspect a
Thank
thing.
you.
Happy,
I need
happy.
this. Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mark.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Hi, thank you very much.
birthday. Long time no see.
Yes.
Commissioner.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much. Who's that?
That's Tony's new girl.
Oh. Where's Tony?
He couldn't come.
Who's Tony?
He's the one that couldn't come.
Oh, Charlie.
Excuse me. Yes, sir, right here.
You dog, you knew about this all along.
I sure did.
What if I said yes to your offer of a couple of beers?
Well, I kind of knew you wanted to come home just in case.
You missed your calling. You should have been a psychiatrist. Sally,
Man.
Oh, where's John and Sue?
Oh, John had to have dental surgery this morning, and Sue, she had to take one of the girls to a piano recital.
Oh, Farrell's here?
Yeah, they called me this afternoon heartsick. It seems like Bill's 96-year-old grandmother got sick, and they had to take her to the hospital.
Oh, is she all right?
I think so.
What about the Lesters?
Oh, they sent a gift, but Herman had to go down to a convention in L.A., and Bibi got the flu.
But Sally, who?
Well, just because our close friends couldn't come, I decided I didn't want to cancel the party, so I just moved over to the B list. What are you gonna eat?
Mac?
Yes?
Happy birthday, darling Mac.
Darling Mac, this is Luciana Amaldi, and this is her fiancé, Derek Simon.
How do you do?
Are you surprised?
Very.
Oh, I'm sorry to barge in like this, like you told us not to, but I promise not to talk any business.
Business? What business?
Yes, Miss Amaldi would like...
A promise is a promise.
She would like to buy the house.
You told.
You do? Really?
She thinks it's just great.
Now, let's not talk any business until we've gone into the living room and you have drunk at least enough champagne that you will not be able to refuse my offer.
I find it hard to refuse you anything, Mrs. Maldi.
Hey, Mac.
Of course, I think we should take time to consider.
What is this I hear, Mac, that you're thinking about selling the house?
Oh, Miss Amaldi here seems to have taken quite a fancy to it.
Oh, well, now, I hate to be a wet blanket, but this is sure one lousy time to buy a house.
Hey, you're supposed to be on our side. They sold us the house.
Oh, really? Then I shall very quickly be able to find out if there are any skeletons in the closet.
And I'll be the first to rattle them for you.
I don't think I heard your name.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Church, this is Miss Amaldi and...
Derek Simon.
Derek Simon.
How do you do? I love your pictures, Miss Amaldi. Very good. Are you, making a film here?
Yes, in your beautiful city.
That's the reason she'd like to buy the house. She wants to live in it while she's filming.
Why don't you just rent? Owning a home can be a real pain, you know. Gardeners, decorators, painters. There's always something going wrong.
Yes, but think of the rewards on those days when things go right.
You're really going to sell it, Mac?
I never make real estate transactions without first consulting with my wife. Excuse me.
Hey, Bill, meet Laura.
Hey, when do I tell him about the termites?
Won't do any good, Mildred.
Hey, you don't want to sell the house, do you? Neither do I. So we'll take it off the market, and that will be the end of it.
Happy birthday, Mac. Magic's still there. I can feel the ground starting to move.
What is that?
It's an earthquake.
Yeah, well, I'm glad the lines are okay. Any other damage? Okay, I'll be right down.
Sir, I radioed for a lab crew, but there's no chance till later.
All right, don't move our friend until they arrive.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mac, there doesn't seem to be any damage upstairs other than just some paintings off the wall.
I have to go down to the office for a moment. Don't worry, the worst is over. And right here, I'll stay with you.
Oh, remember what happened the last time?
No. See?
I love you.
Mr. Church, you were the previous owner of this house, isn't that right?
Yes, that's right.
Well, do you have any ideas to the identity of that skeleton there?
No.
No friends or relatives unaccounted for, then?
Oh, none.
Now, that side of the house, sir, that's part of the original structure, isn't it?
Well, no. No, as a matter of fact, we remodeled this part of the house ourselves about 5 years ago.
Including the fireplace wall?
Yes.
Well, I take it you didn't see any body behind the wall before you bricked it up, then?
Well, now, if I had, Sergeant, I certainly would have reported it to somebody. After I stopped running.
Yes, sir, I'm sure you would have. What about you, Mrs. Church?
No, Mrs. Church was in London at the time.
Yes, I was.
Thank you.
Well, I don't suppose you'll be interested in buying the house now, will you, Luciana?
As a matter of fact, I love houses which exude mystery, have their own excitement. House is like a woman, of much more desirability, with a scarlet past.
Mac and I have decided to take it off the market.
Oh, what a shame. Surely you will reconsider. In any case, we must go back to our hotel. Through streets of rubble, I'm afraid.
You can pretend it's Naples in World War II.
It was such a special party. Madonna mia, I only hope another body doesn't fall out of the wall.
Hold that thought, Luciana.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Mildred, please put that brick down. That's material evidence.
That's what I call a gate crasher.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yoga.
At 3:30 in the morning?
It's the only way to deal with a crisis. How are things out there?
Well, all things considered, not too bad. Everybody get home all right?
I had a tough time getting rid of them. Everybody was so fascinated by that skeleton. Who do you think it is?
Was.
Whatever.
Whoever. Lab team will be here first thing in the morning.
Oh, Mac. I've been thinking. I think we should sell the house. First we have an earthquake, then a body falls out of the fireplace. Then we have a robbery. Don't forget about the robbery. I just don't feel safe here anymore.
Well, it'd be pretty hard to sell.
Well, Luciana Amaldi says that her offer still stands.
Even if the house doesn't?
Mac, the house is very solid. All that we sustained was cosmetic damage.
Well, I don't call a brick wall cosmetic damage.
Well, at least the room is still standing, isn't it?
It was only an aftershock.
I know.
Why are you standing in the doorway?
Insurance. Well, what do you think?
What?
About selling the house to Luciana.
We're not going to sell it.
Why?
An Italian movie star wants to buy our house.
Yeah.
She doesn't even quibble about the price.
No.
Then there's an earthquake. The brick fireplace falls in, a skeleton jumps out at us, and she still wants to buy the house and doesn't argue about the price. We're not selling.
You're getting mad.
No, I'm just concerned.
You know, if you want to stand on your head, you'd feel great.
Can't. The blood rushes to my head.
Well, I don't know how you can sleep when a gigantic earthquake could happen at any minute.
I'm not going to wait for it. I'm too tired. Good night.
Could you turn that light on?
Why?
I'm scared.
Of what?
I'm scared of earthquakes. People falling out of fireplaces, robberies, you name it, I'm scared of it.
Is that better? Good night.
Hello? Oh, I'm
Yes,
sorry. Oh,
No! Maggie, would you get maintenance on the phone, please?
I'm really sorry. Maintenance? Commissioner Mcmillan's office.
Thank you. Maintenance? Yes, I'm sorry. We were disconnected. Oh, look, give me a break, will you? I mean, this room looks like a cyclone went through it. Well, at least send somebody up to rehang the paintings. Well, what about a bribe? All right, could you see that it's done today, please? Thank you.
Any luck?
They said they'd try.
Oh, it's really not so bad, Commissioner.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
You see? An impartial opinion.
It's terrible.
Maggie, let me help you with these books.
Thanks, I'd love.
How are things at the house?
I was lucky, actually. There was no real damage.
I'm very glad to hear that, Maggie. Actually, I was talking about my house.
Oh, I don't know, sir. I haven't been to your house.
I know. I was talking to Sergeant Enright.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be all right.
Charlie?
Everything's just fine, sir. The lab crew's there now.
Did you talk to the coroner's office?
Oh, yes, sir. Listen, they said that they could perform dental tests and X-ray comparisons.
But outside of that, sir, they're going to have a very tough time identifying the body.
The body? Whose?
We don't know. That's why they're performing dental tests and X-ray comparisons.
You mean a body just turned up at your surprise party?
A body fell out of the fireplace.
Oh, dear. Fireplace?
Let's check when that fireplace was built. Church did the remodeling. I'd like a list of people reported missing at that time.
Yes, sir.
What about this bowl?
What bowl?
This one.
Oh.
I've never seen it before.
That was stolen out of the house the other night. Meant to return it. Thanks for reminding me.
Commissioner, I know it's none of my business, but what with robberies and bodies falling out of the walls, don't you think you ought to consider a move?
Have you been talking to my wife?
Hello? No, no. Hello? Oh, Commissioner Mcmillan's office. Wait a minute, I'll see if he's in. Are you in?
Depends. Who is it?
Who is it? Captain Kellerman.
Yes.
He's in.
Yes, Captain. Where? Right. We'll be right down. Fatality report, the first one so far.
Where, sir?
Warehouse District, Corey, Maine.
Well, that area is usually deserted in the middle of the night.
I know. Let's go.
Have a nice day, sir. You too, Sergeant.
We'll do our best, Maggie. Oh, Maggie,
Yeah, I know.
thank you.
Maintenance. This is Commissioner Mcmillan's office. Don't you think you could send somebody at least to rehang the pictures? Looks like a cyclone hit it.
Frightened residents all over the city swamped telephone lines most of the night. One of the more bizarre incidents happened to the police commissioner himself. A skeleton, still unidentified, fell from the wall into the middle of his living room. George Church, well-known art dealer, and his wife Emily, former owners of the house, were as surprised as the Mcmillans over the arrival of the unexpected visitor.
Hello?
Mrs. Mcmillan.
Yes.
Roger Stambler, Lloyd's of London.
Isn't it a little bit late for insurance after it's happened?
No, this is a different matter. Is Commissioner Mcmillan in?
No, he's at the office.
I see.
Well, come on in.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Maybe there's something I can help you with.
No, I'm afraid not. It's something I must discuss with the commissioner himself. You really have a bit of a problem there.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of knocking a hole in that wall anyway.
I read about your unexpected visitor. Must have been quite a shock, I imagine.
Yes, he was the life and death of the party.
That's Mildred.
Ah, Mildred. Will your husband be in his office all day?
Should be. Maybe you could give him a call there.
Right. If I'm unable to reach him, will you be sure and tell him it is a matter of the utmost urgency?
I sure will, Mr. Stambler.
Thank you.
You know, I've never met anybody from Lloyd's of London before.
Really?
I'm except in the movies, of course.
I don't understand.
You know, after the big jewel robbery, then the guy comes from Lloyd's of London and he starts asking the leading lady all sorts of very penetrating questions.
Next time I come, I promise I'll have something really penetrating to say.
Okay, one second.
Sally, darling.
Luciana. Hi, Derek. What have you got there?
Sweets for the sweet hostess. Ooh, very hard to find immediately after an earthquake, you can imagine.
I'm sorry. This is Roger Stambler, Luciana Amaldi. But be careful of what you say to him because he's apt to ask you some penetrating questions.
Oh?
He's from Lloyd's of London.
How very interesting.
Oh, this is Derek Simon.
As a matter of fact, Miss Amaldi and I have already met. But I don't expect she'll remember. We insured some of her jewels, just a routine business meeting.
Luciana, you never should have brought me these things. They're very fat now.
Well, it's a bribe to get you to sell me your house. What a wreck, no?
Yes.
You're selling your house, Mrs. Mcmillan?
Well, we had been thinking about it, but we changed our minds last night.
What made you go against it?
I don't know. This and that.
Yes, I see. Well, I shall call your husband later. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
Sure was nice to meet you.
Nice meeting all of you.
Okay. Well.
Come on, Lucci. Remember, I'm going to show you the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh.
If it's still standing. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Can't you take a joke?
It's Ernie Booker.
Looks like he's not going to lift any more of your bowls, Commissioner.
Well, it ought to be taken care of right away. How soon can you do it? Tomorrow morning's fine. Talk to you later. I just told the chief about Ernie Booker. Did you get an autopsy out of him yet?
We're working on it, sir.
Good. Isn't it interesting that the only victim of the earthquake in this entire city happens to be the same man hired to find out whether the walls in my house are hollow or not?
Yeah, well, maybe this will help, sir. Here's the information you wanted on George and Emily Church. Okay. Here are hundreds of newspaper clippings about Luciana and her lover boy. But the real kicker is this, sir. It's your house. Oh, and that remodeling job was done by a contractor named Martin Sandowski.
Martin Sandowski?
Yes, sir. But the interesting thing about this particular blueprint is that we found it in the late Ernie Booker's apartment.
I'll get it, Mildred. Just what we needed, somebody else dropping in.
I know it. Hi.
Hi, Mrs. McMillan, Walter Jennings.
Yeah.
National Insurance Company.
Oh, yeah. Come on in.
Thank you.
You know, you're the second insurance man to come and see me today.
Yeah?
First Lloyd's of London, and now you. You know, I don't think I've seen you since we took out our earthquake insurance policy.
No, I guess you haven't. I did talk to your husband on the phone, though. He says you recovered that silver bowl that the prowler took the other night.
Yeah. Well, it kind of helps when you're the police commissioner.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
I hope there's not going to be a problem with our claim. I know your office must be inundated with calls right now, but as you can see, we did have a little problem with it. What is that?
Your check.
You're kidding.
To start the repairs, on account.
How did you manage that?
Yeah, a little pressure on the home office.
I don't believe it. This isn't what I expected at all.
That's some hole you got there, huh?
Yeah, we thought we'd make a sauna out of it.
Well, look, I just wanted to drop off the check here, and I do have several other calls to make, so...
You know, I sure appreciate this, Mr. Jennings. I never expected
Look, anything we can do to make it easier for you, you know. Listen, by the way, have you hired a contractor for that remodeling yet?
No, why?
I was just thinking, I know of a man by the name of Martin Sandowski, and apparently he did the remodeling for the Church family when they lived in the house.
Well, I guess he'd know where the bodies are buried.
Yeah, probably so. Oh, we'll see you later. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Where the bodies are buried, ha-ha.
Just sweep.
All right, Commissioner, I'm a busy man. There was an earthquake, remember?
So
somebody's got to clean up this whole
That's
mess
why the
here.
mountain came to Muhammad, Mr. Sandowski.
Why don't you just say what you got to say, huh?
Just a few routine questions.
Yeah, which I can already answer for you, believe me. No, I don't know the name of the skeleton. I know there's no member of my crew missing, period. I got no liability in this thing
This
at
is
all.
very likely a murder charge, Mr. Sandowski, so perhaps you better remember everything you can about remodeling that house.
All right. The owner, George Church, asked me to finish the job in a hurry, so I finished it in a hurry. The wall was only half done. He called me up and said he'd pay me double if I finished it the same day, so I did. He paid me, then he got on a plane, visited his wife in London. How was I supposed to know the San Andreas Fault was going to cave in?
You didn't see a body on the other side of that wall?
No, what do I know about a body? The wall, even half finished, was already up to here.
You didn't even look?
No, I didn't look. I didn't see anything. I mixed my lousy cement, I took my money, and I bugged off. So sue me.
Don't tempt me.
Come on, fellas, move it, will you? You haven't got all day.
Commissioner?
Yeah?
Something's fishy here. You know, if I were Sandowski on that job, I'd have looked over onto the other side of the wall.
Well, of course. Who wouldn't? Now, look. He's not off the hook yet. I want to go stop and see George Church. I'll drop you off.
Say, listen, Emily and I were just about to have dinner at the club. Why don't you call Sally and come on over?
Well, we'd love to, but I've got a lot of work to do at the office.
Oh.
Well, there doesn't seem to be too much damage around here.
No. Emily thought for sure that our stained glass panels and reams would be smashed to smithereens, but they weren't.
Not one small angel.
Very good.
Well, now, listen here. If you will not have dinner, will you have a sherry?
What? If you haven't anything stronger, I'd be glad to.
Right over here.
It's over here. Come on.
Solid lead crystal from Florence, 16th century. Nothing but the best, man.
So I see.
Emily?
Thank you.
Mac? And a little one for me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That helps. You know, Mac, we have no idea who that body could be in your wall. We're as baffled as you are.
Do you recognize these?
Plans?
Of the house.
Oh, yes. Well, they must be the plans for the remodeling job that we did about 5 years ago, just before you bought the place.
They were found in an apartment of a third-rate loser named Ernie Booker. Ernie Booker was the only fatality last night in the whole city.
Well, the contractor filed those with the city, Mac, while he was doing the remodeling job. Anyone could have gotten a copy of them.
Yes, I just spoke with your contractor, Martin Sandowski.
Sandowski, right.
He says you paid him double to seal up the wall in one day.
Yes, that's right.
Why?
Well, I haven't told Emily about this. She was in London at the time, but, well, I wanted to see her, and, you know how those contractors are. They're as, well, they can be awfully bloody slow.
That's true. They were taking a very long time.
Yeah, so that's all there is to it, Mac. A man missing his wife.
Yes, well, I better get back to the office.
Oh, by the way, Mac, we really feel awfully bad about the house. You know, walls falling in and all that sort of thing. I feel like I've sold you a lemon. But Emily and I always kind of liked it. So why don't you let me make amends? Buy it back from you at a fair price. Or maybe a little profit.
You know something, George? I'm becoming very close to that house. I don't know quite what it is, but there's something I can't put my finger on.
I always felt that way about it, too.
Well, give it some thought, will you, fella?
Thanks for the wine.
You might consider even going into a condominium.
Darling, condominiums are so out. Isn't it marvelous? You wanted to be with me in London so much that you went to all that extravagant expense.
Commissioner Mcmillan, could I see you a second, please? Roger Stambler, Lloyd's of London.
How do you do?
How do you do? I've actually been waiting for you.
Why didn't you wait up in the office?
Because I have a very private and very difficult matter to discuss with you.
Such as?
Could we go for a drink somewhere?
Why don't you give me a clue to what you're talking about?
Well, let's just say I think you'd rather be sitting down than standing up.
Forgive me if I seem to hurry this along.
Commissioner, what if I were to tell you there's something other than one very bony skeleton hidden in your quaint little fireplace wall?
At the risk of sounding repetitious, such as?
Let's say $4 million worth of emeralds.
I'll take that drink.
Late.
Oh, where are you meeting him?
Oh, someplace called the Lido, but we're only going to have drinks. We shouldn't be back very late.
Oh, bring me one back in a doggy bag, will you?
Okay.
Mcmillan residence. Oh, yeah, sure. Hi, Demetrius. How are you?
I'm fine. I was thinking, Mildred, that perhaps just the two of us could have dinner tonight here at my restaurant.
The two of us?
Yes, such a charming woman as yourself deserves to taste more of life. Not to mention my tremendous moussaka.
Gee, that's the best offer I've had all day. I'm sorry I can't, though. The Mcmillans are out.
Then I have an even better idea. I come over there with my tremendous moussaka.
Well, that sounds kind of interesting. You got a deal.
How do you feel about ouzo?
Well, why don't you ask me that when you get to know me a little better, okay?
I'll be there just as soon as I can. Goodbye.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? Cut that out!
Two Scotch waters, one with ice and one without.
Yes, I'm without.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, I had to let the office know where I was.
All right. To the royal family.
Yes, and the bicentennial. Okay, suppose we start at the beginning.
Beginning. Yes, well, the vultures are gathering. I hope you understand that.
At this particular moment, I'm not too sure I do.
Have you ever heard the name Ken Ryan?
Ken Ryan? No, I don't think so.
He's an American, a soldier of fortune. He's a charming bounder, I have to admit. Has a fatal fascination for emeralds, in particular a necklace that's part of the Greek crown jewels, which, unfortunately, we insure.
And you think this Ryan hid them in my house?
Almost certainly, yes. 5 years ago, Ryan came to San Francisco and contacted his good friend, George Church, who then owned what is now your house. Church had to go to London to meet his wife, and he let Ken use the place. But Ryan needed a fence. Before any deal was consummated, some Greek agents who'd been following him closed in and spirited him back to prison in Greece. And they assumed, quite naturally, as they didn't find any of the emeralds, that he'd already fenced them.
And he hadn't?
No. Since they've never surfaced, he obviously hid them in your house. Well, tempus fugit, as they say. And Ryan is now released. He contacts his former mistress. Who? Luciana Amaldi. Yes. What do you know? Luciana heads straight for San Francisco and your place.
You mean she's fronting for him?
Precisely.
What about the skeleton?
We don't know for sure. We do know Ryan had negotiated with a big-time fence. It could have been him, or maybe even one of the Greek agents, a scuffle of some kind. The point is, at this moment, nefarious forces are trying to penetrate your household, and you should do something about it.
Like what?
Begin a systematic search. I think it'd be rather nice for us if we found the emeralds first. My neck is on the line, job-wise.
Rather imagine it is.
All right, where have you been?
What do you mean, where have I been?
I have been at the Lido waiting for you. When your office called and told me to meet you there at 7, I went there. Then when you didn't show up, I called your office. The switchboard says you're here.
I didn't ask anybody to call you. Who did you talk to?
Well, I talked to the new girl.
I think we should get to your house right now.
When an Italian speaks to an Italian, he speaks Italian. When a Spaniard speaks to a Spaniard, he speaks Spanish. But when one wants to speak to the gods, he speaks Greek.
That's terrific, you know that?
Of course. In the 4th century BC, there was a tremendous cataclysm near the island of Crete.
No kidding.
A tidal wave engulfed all living creatures. Civilization was destroyed completely.
Yeah?
But what do you want to hear of tragedy in your innocent life? Conflicts of ancient dynasties.
Oh, that's better than the late movie.
This is the late movie. Am I keeping you awake, my dear lady?
No, but this stuff you brought is powerful. Wow.
Why don't you lie down here on the couch?
Oh, yeah?
While I clear away the dishes.
Oh. Yeah.
Mildred. Mildred.
I feel like somebody slipped me a Mickey Finn.
Somebody slipped Demetrius a lot worse.
Any argument, did it, Commissioner?
None whatsoever.
Can you give us any statement at all?
Sorry.
So admit, Commissioner, your house has certainly been where the action is lately.
Keep those reporters away from here.
Commissioner, Demetrius's personal effects, sir.
Have the lab check everything for prints.
Here's to the elusive Mr. Ken Ryan.
What makes you think it was Ken Ryan?
Shall we say I recognize his style? Got Sally out of the house, thought that Mildred was asleep. Didn't count on old Demetrius being there, and so he had to kill him just as we arrived.
Maybe. Meanwhile, why don't you give Sergeant Enright here a description? We can put out an APB on Mr. Ryan.
That's the trouble with Ken Ryan. He's so bloody general. No.
Sally, why did you pick Demetrius to cater the party?
Henri.
Who's he?
He's the man that usually does our catering. You know that. Besides, he called me a couple of days ago. He said his ovens had broken down. Maybe I'd use the Greek that had the restaurant down the street.
Didn't you inquire anything of him?
I certainly look Greek.
He said a lot of sweet nothings to me, Commissioner. I think he wanted my body, such as it is.
I think I'll go down to that restaurant and see what I can find. Would you care to come along?
I better not. I have to call the home office.
I'll go with you, Mac.
Uh-uh.
Come on.
Okay.
Mildred, are you going to be all right?
Oh, sure. I feel like a million.
Maybe I should call a doctor and have him send you over a sedative.
Oh, please, no. Every time I go to sleep, somebody gets killed.
Commissioner, you're not going to leave the house unguarded, are you?
Not a chance, Enright.
Oh, yes, sir. I'll stay here.
Okay.
See, Ryan killed Demetrius, but he may not have found the emeralds at all.
She likes you.
Who?
The belly dancer. Look at that.
What?
She's got muscles in places that I don't even have places.
You underestimate yourself.
Katina, may we come in for a minute?
Yes.
Katina. Demetrius is dead.
How did it happen?
Murder?
Do you know who?
Not yet.
I told him not to go. But he wouldn't listen. He was not a superstitious man.
What was he?
A proud, honorable man.
Not simply a caterer.
No,
He was an agent, wasn't he?
for the Greek government. Working to recover that which was rightfully ours. The emeralds from the crown jewels. From those who stole them.
Did he know who stole them?
He never told me. If he had, I would kill him, myself, or her. An old Greek custom. When we're worried or fearful, we run our fingers over the beads like this. It's supposed to keep us safe. Solve all of our problems. I tried to get Demetrius to take them, but he wouldn't. He laughed.
He didn't believe in worry beads?
Perhaps if he had been a bit more superstitious, he'd be alive now.
3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8.
Sergeant, could you deal the cards just a little faster?
What's the rush, Mildred?
I'd like to get the hand in before the next quake hits.
Well, how many cards you got?
8.
9, 9, 10, 10.
You want that?
Hmm?
Do you want that?
Oh, yes.
Tempo, Sergeant. Come on.
Take it easy, Mildred. You look like you're going to jump out of your skin.
Listen, a big earthquake comes, right? A body falls out of a brick wall, and a Greek masher is killed in my very presence, and you tell me to take it easy?
I think that's another gin.
Nothing. This is really my night, isn't it?
All right, that makes 11,500.
Can I give you a check?
No. I only accept cash.
Well, in that case, how about another hand, double or nothing?
Done.
You know, 10 to 1, those emeralds are around here someplace.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it, Mildred. I mean, if they are around here, they'll turn up.
Somehow, turn up is not exactly what $4 million worth of emeralds do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the way you dealt those cards was really fantastic. Where'd you learn how to handle cards like that?
Oh, here and there.
Hmm? Oh, well, that sounds a little bit shady.
Well, if you really must know, I learned to play cards in the service.
You were in the service?
Mm-hmm, the wax.
No kidding. Which war?
The great one.
North against South?
You're on thin ice, Sergeant.
Gin.
Well, when you're hot, I guess.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm a stranger in town. I wondered, could you direct me to your room?
What?
Well, actually, it was just a silly little joke. I was trying to get up enough courage to ask you if you would care to join me for a drink.
No, thank you. Good night.
What if I told you I only had 4 months to live?
I'll send you a card.
If I said that tomorrow I had to go overseas and fight the Hun?
Won't work.
You do know what will happen, I suppose.
I beg your pardon.
I see you do know what will happen. I'll go to my room alone, get ready for bed, maybe pour myself a brandy, pick up a book, and find myself reading, staring at the same page over and over again. And why? Because I'll be thinking of you, alone in your room. And you'll probably be staring at a book, thinking of...
You. I get the picture. Good night.
Well, of course, there's more. Actually, then I'd come down the corridor, tiptoe, tap on your door quietly, the door would open, and there you'd stand in your negligee, looking radiant. We'd look at each other for 1 moment, and then kiss.
Right here in the corridor.
Well, then we could go to other rooms.
Didn't you read the little sign on the inside of your room?
Yeah?
They charge extra for double occupancy.
Touché.
Good night.
Good night.
Excuse me.
You reconsidered?
No, I'm having a terrible time with my key. Can you help me, please?
Of course. More people have met because of keys. Let me do this. You all right?
I'm okay. What happened?
I don't know. I think someone rigged up a bomb to explode when I opened my door.
That's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, you saved my life, you know.
What are you? What are you, some sort of a gangster?
No, actually, I'm in insurance, although I guess you could draw your own conclusions.
Would you like to come in and call the police?
Yes, I would.
I may even call room service and order us both a drink.
See, I knew you'd like me after all.
Any man who would blow up his hotel room just to have a drink with a lady has got to be worth spending a little time with.
By the way, my name is...
Shh. Let's be very mysterious about our names.
Oh, good. We'll pretend we're amnesia victims.
You know, Mac, I felt so sorry for poor Katina.
Me too.
You get the feeling that her relationship with Demetrius was a little more than just a professional one.
Yeah, I think that was obvious. You know, I could never figure out how anybody does that.
Not very hard if you want to try it.
No, I don't want to spend a week in traction.
Oh.
The human leg was not meant to bend that way.
Come on, why don't you try it?
No, thank you.
You know, you're always teasing me about it, but you never try it. That's not fair.
Of course not. But if I can't be unfair to my own wife, who can I be unfair to?
You're afraid.
Only of physical torture.
It's going to enhance your physical well-being. I'll start you off with a simple
Good
one.
night.
Come on. Try it.
Oh.
You're going to try it now. Come on.
All right.
Gosh, it was easier to get you to marry me.
Well, it was much more pleasant.
Now, just sit like this, just like Indian.
Well, that's a snap.
Yeah, you're doing great so far. Now all you have to do is...
Now,
Yeah, ready? Okay, just relax. Breathe deeply. Take a deep breath. And... There you go. Now you're there. Now just relax. Try to balance yourself. Wait a minute. Here you go. This is... It's tricky.
Oh, no,
Ready?
You're going to...
Okay.
Oh, give me a crap! Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, I almost got it. Oh, here, I'll get it.
Wait, answer the phone.
Okay. Hello? Are you here for Roger Stambler?
Yes.
Yes, he's here. Hold on a second. Here, I'll get him here.
Hello, Roger.
Hello, old chap. How are you?
Oh, wonderful, thank you. Yourself?
Well, I'm pretty shaky, as a matter of fact. Someone planted a bomb in my room. It was sheer luck it didn't get me.
A bomb?
Yes, a bunch of your expert chappies are going over what's left of my room for clues.
Well, do you want to stay here?
No, I'll muddle through.
All right, I'll see you in the morning. We ought to have the reports by then.
Good show.
Now, you be careful, huh? Try to get a little sleep.
Sleep? I don't think I'm going to get a wink.
Welcome to the club. Good night.
Pleasant dreams, Commissioner. Wrong number.
How's your leg? Your cramp?
Terrific.
Come on in.
Good night.
Come on.
Good
You almost
night.
got it.
Good night.
You're just nothing but a chicken. It's true. You'll never find inner peace.
You know, I could never figure out how people do that.
Oh, it's simple. You want to try it?
No. Good night. Is Sergeant Enright in yet? All right, send him in the moment he arrives. Thank you. Did you contact your London office?
Yes, courtesy of the San Francisco Police Department. Although I must say my office is rather upset.
Imagine they are.
Yes, they're convinced Ken Ryan has found the emeralds and is very likely out of the city by now.
You don't agree?
No, I don't. In fact, I think it was Ken Ryan who tried to kill me.
Why? Doesn't sound like his style.
Well, let's just say he knows when it comes to $4 million, I can be very tenacious. And I don't think after all these years he wants to take a chance on losing something he feels is no doubt rightfully his.
Well, don't discount Miss Amaldi. She may be fronting for Ryan, and again, she may not.
Yes, I've been giving that some thought of late.
Well, she and that boyfriend of hers may not feel like sharing.
Exactly.
I bet you never thought the insurance business would be quite this dangerous.
You're absolutely right. Although one good thing did come out of last night. I met this absolutely charming woman. Of course, my hotel room was virtually destroyed by that bomb, and she very kindly offered me shelter. Delightful woman. Charming.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Commissioner. We really hit the jackpot at the coroner's office, sir. Here are 2 reports. You were absolutely right about Ernie Booker, sir. He was bashed in the head someplace else. And then his body was dumped at least 4 hours after the earthquake in that elevator. And in addition, we have discovered that the elevator cables were cut.
And the other report?
Well, sir, that bag of bones behind your fireplace was positively identified as one Fred Omida. Sound familiar?
Fred Omida. Oh, yeah. Do I?
Oh, who's Fred Omida?
He was a sleazy private eye. The kind that would tail you, take pictures of you, and then blackmail you with them. He was also go-between among a dozen fences in this city. He could have been negotiating a deal for Ryan.
Well, then why would Ryan have killed him?
Well, he could have wanted a larger finder's fee. Or maybe it wasn't Ryan that killed him after all. It might have been one of the Greek agents.
Any idea who the fence might be?
With all the fences in this city, why don't you make a list of the probables?
If you find anything out, will you let me know?
Will do.
Well, I'm off now. I'm going to go out and buy some more clothes. Everything I had was blown up, of course. I bought this suit this morning. It's rather nice, isn't it?
Terrific.
I'd love to see the face of the general manager of Lloyd's of London when he gets the bill for this. Listen, thank you for the tea.
Welcome.
Bye-bye.
Is this Nature's personal effects?
Yes, sir. In addition, we had a little talk with Henri, your regular caterer. And he admits that he let Demetrius bribe him to take the party assignment.
Yes. Put her on. Emily, what is it?
It's about George. We had a terrible fight. He knows a lot more than he told you. I tried to get him to call you, but he won't. He's at the shop. Will you go and see him, please?
I will, Emily, right away.
Mildred, I really doubt you're going to find it up there.
Listen, if I was going to hide $4 million worth of emeralds, this is where I'd hide it, where it's difficult. Don't leave the ladder. You know how I feel about heights.
George!
Do you remember that Edgar Allan Poe story?
Yeah, Vincent Price was in the movie.
The one where they're all searching around for that letter? They're all looking for a letter?
Yeah, and it was hidden under the floor.
Yeah. No, that was another one. This one, they're all looking for a secret compartment, a special secret hiding place. Then the police inspector comes, and he just walks over to the spot where it is, the most logical place for it to be.
Hold on to the ladder, will you?
I don't believe it. There's something here. I don't believe it. We found it.
This is Commissioner Mcmillan. Send an emergency ambulance to George Church's antique shop on Market Street. Right. How is he?
They aren't really sure. They say he has a chance.
What happened between you two?
Oh, Mac.
Tell me, Emily. George was a friend of Ken Ryan's, wasn't he?
Yes.
And he wanted him to contact a fence for the emeralds?
Yes. I didn't know about the emeralds then. We were about to leave for London when Ryan arrived. Apparently, George knew a fence, and the fence sent an intermediary. A dreadful little man by the name of Fred Omeda. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who the fence was. Anyway, George thought I should go on, so he took me to the airport, and when he got back, he found Omeda dead.
Brian was gone.
Oh, yes, with the emeralds. Or so we thought. We were having the house remodeled. So, George hid the body behind the wall. We paid the contractor double time. And then he came to London to meet me. And later on, I'm so sorry. We sold the house to you.
Do you know who tried to kill George today?
No. I got a telephone call. I thought he was having an affair. So I listened on the extension, and it was a man. He said he'd taken care of Demetrius, and he thought the emeralds were still in your house. He wanted George to help him, and he threatened him.
Did you recognize the voice?
No. I confronted George. We had a terrible scene. He left the house, and then I called you.
Did he tell you who the fence was?
No. He said he thought it was safer.
Guess what?
Hi. You decided to sell the house?
No. The niche. I found it. Right there in front of our very fingertips, and this was inside.
The jewel box.
Mm-hmm.
An empty jewel box.
Well, that's what it is, all right. An empty jewel box.
Well, I know it's empty. You can't have everything, you know.
Why not?
Anyway, the way I've got it figured is the guy comes in, he kills Demetrius, he finds the emeralds, he makes off with them, and he leaves that in our house.
1 out of 2's not bad.
Plastic worry beads. Those look like Katinas.
These were found in Demetrius's pocket.
Don't be ridiculous, Mac. He hated worry beads. You heard Katina say that.
I know. That's why I had them x-rayed. Underneath 37 cents worth of cheap plastic, there are hidden, in all their pristine splendor, $4 million worth of very green Greek emeralds.
Well, that solves that.
Now all I have to do is solve 3 murders in 2 attempts.
Well, that part's easy.
Do you hear that, Charlie? She said that part's easy.
All you have to do is set a trap or something.
Why not a trap, sir?
A trap? You may tell your readers that my wife and I are moving out until the house is repaired.
But, Commissioner, how can you be sure that the emeralds aren't still on the premises?
As I told you in my statement last night, we had a police lab team here tearing the whole place apart. My best information is that the emeralds are already out of the country.
You said the same person that killed Demetrius Anapopoulos stole them.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Commissioner, it is important.
Excuse me a minute.
I'll be out front.
Right.
You want to follow me? I'll try to answer.
I've been trying to reach you.
Well, the hotel messed up, I suppose. I've been reading your statement in the morning paper.
Can you come over to the house tonight about 8?
I thought you were moving out.
I'll be in the car across the street.
What's up?
I'll tell you then.
I'll get him.
Hi, Mrs. Mcmillan. How are you?
Fine, come on.
Hey, Commissioner, how's it going?
Fine. Sally and I are moving out until we can get the house prepared.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's, work will probably go a lot faster that way. Say, I'm supposed to meet a couple of contractors to get their bids.
Oh, we'll be out of your way in just a few minutes.
No. You take your time. I can wait outside. If you need me for anything, just give me a holler.
You know, you've really been helpful with all this, Mr. Jennings. Excuse me for a minute.
Yeah, well, you know, I sold George Church the original policy on this house. How's he doing anyway, do you know?
Touch and go.
It's too bad. A nice guy.
Yeah.
Hi, Commissioner.
Well, Mr. Harrington.
Listen, you still planning to sell the house? Think I got a customer for you.
With a landmark as famous as Fisherman's Wharf, I'd sooner start to sell tickets.
Oh, and you're not, huh?
No, Mr. Harrington. Definitely not.
Oh, Mr. Harrington.
No, we are not.
No, we're not.
Well, you know, that emerald thing, that could be a very good selling point, you know.
Goodbye, Mr. Harrington.
Well, think it over.
Mac, I've got a question for you.
What?
If you tell everybody that the guy that killed Demetrius stole the emeralds and left the country, then why is anybody going to come back here looking for them?
Because whoever killed him didn't get them.
Huh. Do we know who that is yet?
No.
What about George and Emily Church?
Somebody tried to kill him.
Katina, what about Katina?
It doesn't wash.
Seemed pretty clean to me.
That is a figure of speech, Mildred. As in, doesn't make sense.
Luciana. It's got to be Luciana.
Commissioner?
Derek? Chana?
Commissioner, how nice to see you.
What can I do for you?
I know this is a terrible time for you, but I must know if you are still seriously entertaining our offer to buy your house.
I should think you'd no longer be interested.
But I am interested. I'm prepared to make you an offer you cannot refuse.
I must refuse. I think you'd have no more interest in the house, what with the emeralds gone.
Emeralds?
Luciano, you and everybody else didn't suddenly take an interest in my house out of sheer coincidence.
I am not understanding, Commissioner.
The other night, a man was killed in my house.
I read of it.
He was a Greek named Demetrius. He catered my birthday party.
Well, the food wasn't that great, but it wasn't anything to kill him over.
He was really a Greek agent.
That's funny. I didn't know that William Morris had an office over there.
Derek, darling, let the Commissioner speak.
You still have ties in Greece, haven't you?
Ties? In what fashion?
An American expatriate named Ken Ryan.
There have been many excitements in my past. There's only one excitement now. You Americans put it so well, for better or worse.
Isn't it interesting that you can just dismiss him just like that?
What are you insinuating?
When he got out of prison, he went to your apartment in Rome asking for help. You had a new lover then, Derek here. So you double-crossed him, found out where the emeralds were, and then dumped him conveniently in the Tiber.
Is that a formal charge you're making?
No, Rome is not within my jurisdiction. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of work to do, and I have to move my family to a hotel.
Let's go, Derek. Spero che i tuoi denti mirciscono e i tuoi capelli cascano! Capito?
Mamma mia. I hope you don't parle Italiano, sir.
No, why?
Well, she said that she hopes that your teeth rot and your hair falls out.
Well, that happens to all of us sooner or later.
I think she meant sooner, sir.
Sorry I'm late. Anything happen?
Not a bit. Thanks for having me along.
Not at all.
Shall I get the light?
Leave it dark.
What do we do?
We wait. Hello, Mr. Jennings. And please don't tell us you were inspecting the premises for insurance damage.
How did you find out?
What, that you were the fence? By checking the list of Fred Omega's old contacts. And George Church supplied you with all the information you needed. The only thing you didn't have was access to this house once you found out where the emeralds were. So you hired poor old Ernie Booker.
And he tried to blackmail me.
No honor among thieves anymore? And Demetrius?
He got here first, but he didn't find him.
Yes, he did. He hid him in his pocket just before you got here.
No, wait a minute. I searched him.
What self-respecting Greek doesn't always carry around his worry beads? Take him downtown, read him his rights, and book him.
Yes, sir, officer. Mr. Jennings, this way, please.
Bravo. Wonderful job. My office is going to be tickle pink. Now, if you'd like to divest yourself of that $4 million headache, I'd be only too glad to give you a receipt for it. Naturally, my company will see that the gems are returned to the Greek government forthwith. Well, to a job well done. Cheers.
Cheers. Come on, why don't you treat yourself to an ice cube or two?
I beg your pardon?
And your scotch. Scotch and water tastes pretty insipid without ice for an American.
My dear chap, I've no idea what...
And that phony accent, you can cool that, too. Ken Ryan, I presume?
I had you going for a while, though, huh? At the risk of sounding repetitious, how'd you find out?
Lloyd's of London is very cooperative. It seems that Roger Stambler is on vacation in Africa.
Yeah, he's on safari, if you can believe that.
Is this where you take out the gun? Come on. Surely you don't want to ruin my image of Ken Ryan, soldier of fortune, Robin Hood, bon vivant, and surviving a dunking in the Tiber?
That's true. But when did I ever tell you I was Robin Hood? Now I want the emeralds.
And go to jail again? You've already paid that price.
Just give me the emeralds.
Isn't it the game that counts, and not really the prize?
Only on television. The emeralds.
It'd be poor taste to kill a police commissioner, because that's what you're going to have to do to get them.
It isn't loaded anyway. I never carried a loaded gun.
Makes us even, because these aren't loaded either. The real ones are in my safe. To the royal family.
To the bicentennial. Oh, I gotta have some ice.
Are you asleep?
Not now.
Oh, great. Listen, there was one thing I forgot to ask you. You know your surprise party? You knew about it, didn't you? Come on.
No, I really didn't.
Come on, you did, didn't you?
No, honestly, I didn't.
I know you knew about it, didn't you?
Okay. I did.
How did you find out about it? I love you.